Hi, this is Sarah Mikesell with the Pig Site, and today we're here with Dr. Angie Supple. She is a veterinarian with Eichelberger Farms in Wayland, Iowa. Thanks so much for being with me today, Angie.
Thank you so much for the opportunity to meet with you guys today.
Appreciate that. And today, Angie and I are in St. Paul, Minnesota at the Leman Swine Conference, and we're just about ready to kick off the poster session evening reception here on Sunday night. And you worked on some research that we wanted to share and wanted to talk about. Let's start with just kind of an overview of why is sow care so important?
Yep, it's a great question, and I think it's something that we always need to focus on, whether you're involved in production, if you're just a herd health veterinarian. I think sow care is one of the most critical pieces when we look at the success and productivity of a sow farm. So it kind of begins and ends with the sow. So, all the different aspects of sow care is going to play into her ability to be productive, produce big litters, healthy pigs, and then be able to be retained in the herd. And then the other aspect that I always like to focus on is, we look at productivity, health, but then there's also the animal welfare component that goes into it as well.
Very good. And you conducted some research that's noted right here behind us at a large sow farm recently. Tell us about the challenge the farm faced and how you conducted the research.
Yep. So what we did is we had a large 5,000 head sow farm where we were struggling with an increase in sow mortality. And so this farm has the OPG, open pen gestation, set up. And I would say, if you have challenges, you might see challenges like lameness, sow mortality amongst all your different farms, but oftentimes OPG situations can exacerbate them, so it just becomes more obvious. So sow mortality was one of the metrics that we wanted to look at and see if changes or an increase in individual sow care would impact and lower our sow mortality. So what we did was we did a combination of in classroom and then on-farm hands-on training in a very routine, systematic approach with the sow farm to see if we could kind of move the needle, if you will, for improving sow mortality.
Very good. And what were the study results?
So what we found was we were able to significantly reduce the sow mortality on this farm that we had done kind of this combination of, in classroom and then hands-on training. And I think really the component of the hands-on aspect is really where I settle on the importance. So as a system, I would say we have a really great training program, and so we do a good job there, but then being able to translate what you learn in a classroom or on a piece of paper and then bring it back into the barn and do that with new employees and then constantly revisiting it even with employees that have had tenure is really, really important. Things change, new things come up, and I learn best through experience a lot of times, and that's how you apply things. And so all the time when you're doing these things, different things arise, different challenges, and how you're going to approach it. So it wasn't for the lack of having training, it was actually taking that training and then translating it in, hands-on with the staff. So not only did we see that metric improve, but then, it led to decreased antibiotic costs because we were identifying those animals sooner, which was a key component into the decreased mortality. And then we were able to maintain that too. So even after this project, and a lot of thanks to Zoetis for all of the help with this program with us, we were able to continue it even after this kind of study was over. And so the feedback that we've gotten from staff as well has been extremely positive. So, it's just one of those things that kind of goes into the whole program. So, somebody might have said, well, we have high sow mortality, we're not shooting the right antibiotic. So it wasn't that we weren't using the right product, it was maybe a timing issue, right? And then there's also many different things that go into why, you might have increased mortality or lameness, not just disease. So focusing on, everything and not just fixated on one aspect was an important piece that we kind of took away from this too.
Very good. What do these findings suggest based on the challenges at this farm?
So to me, it's just another reiteration of how important it is to take your, in classroom trainings, but then bring it, in farm, hands on, and then don't just do it once and feel like you're done.
Right.
It's got to be revisited. So as things come up, new challenges arise, new situations, and so being able to talk through it right then and there, I think is one of the key components, because people aren't doing things wrong because they intentionally want to do something wrong. It's just there's a disconnect. They don't know what they don't know. Right. So I think those opportunities where those become evident and maybe where you're lacking or can improve. So.
Yeah. It seems like it would keep it top of mind for everybody too, right?
Correct. That's absolutely correct, and that's a good way to summarize it.
Right. It keeps everybody talking about it and keeps it at the forefront of their mind, right? How important individual sow care is, for example.
Correct. I think, as things tend to go good, for example, in your
Right.
farm, you can tend to lose focus on some of those things because you think, hey, it's great, we're doing what we're supposed to, but then that's when things can slowly creep back up and become a problem again. And, like I said before, that sow is kind of the backbone of that sow herd, so maintaining great sow care all the way, whether things are great or not, constantly, I think is absolutely crucial.
And as you said, there are new challenges that pop up, right? What was a problem a week ago may not be the same problem, right? And this does keep people talking.
It does, yep. And then it also empowers some of our senior people to kind of help, foster that relationship and then continue to teach newer employees. So, one of our goals would be is to improve employee retention. And I'd say overall, a good training program definitely does that. And so that's another key component that, these continuous, hands-on trainings will provide for your farm.
Very good. Well, thank you so much, Angie, for all the information. This was really interesting.
Yep. Thanks for having me.
Thanks. This is Sarah Mikesell with the Pig Site.